Go and get yourself some Propa clobber, the finest clothing and accessories known to man. Even the Queen has got some. Buy a gift for your loved one or your pal, or just for yourself because you want to look the nuts. Click on the link in my description below. Proper fashion. Bosh. Ooh! We all know what makes boxing great. The sweet science, the skill and the movement. Hit and don't get hit. All that matters is the 12 rounds where the two warriors methodically break down each other tactically in the boxing ring, and this is why we watch this magnificent sport. Bollocks. We want to see two raging lunatics dissing each other and insulting each other in the build-up and ideally lobbing the fucking dinner table. Nothing gets your nipples harder than knowing there's some serious needle between the two fighters. Here are three of the best British rivalries of recent years. Strap in.
I would never let a white boy beat me.
Donkey.
Number 1.
David Haye versus Tony Bellew.
Former heavyweight champion Prince Patel was never short of words. David Haye was never short of words when it come to a press conference, and neither was the mad scouser Tony Bellew.
And on that note, kiss me ass.
You could argue that Mr. Bellew could be on this list twice for his other rivalry with Nathan Cleverly. However, as much as the press conferences were fun, the actual fight was as entertaining as watching me gran fucking knitting. The bomber called out David Haye, saying he's been conning the public over the years. David was so skint at the time that he couldn't even afford a haircut, so the war of words led to the fight being made.
Why not? It's free money.
This infamous press conference began with some sly digs at the one and only Edward Hearn.
Here we go, apples and pears, jumping around.
However, Bellew and his trainer, the Garden Gnome, never backed down at any point to Haye's motor mouth. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, it all ended with a shove and a smack in the face, which got the general public hornier than Big John in the front of the taxi.
Alright, love.
On to the next press conference in Liverpool, and the city was ready. Outnumbered by Scouse fans, Haye was riled up. He clenched his fist whilst on the mic, prompting Eddie Hearn to slightly shat himself. Ooh. It was close to kicking off once again. Thankfully, Bellew got home safely to his wife and kids, and David got home and found his comb. The British fight fans will never forget the two fights that unfolded from this epic rivalry. Haye hurt his toe midway through the fight. No, sorry, not toe.
Hey David, how's your toe? How's your toe?
Hurt his Achilles and then fell arse over head through the ropes, ending up looking like he was giving birth. The second fight, and Bellew put his money where his mouth is, making Haye look like a wobbly pair of bollocks with a fucking naughty left hook.
Put your fucking top back on your helmet. Night night.
The rivalry of Bellew and Haye was an incredible clash of trash talking and egos which the British public will always remember. And Edward will always remember the moment Bellew completely fucking pied him. Epic stuff.
Carl Froch versus George Groves.
How can you make a rivalry list without mentioning the two wars between Marv from Home Alone and the Saint himself? The rivalry that made the hair stand up on the back of our necks, or in Groves' case managed to grow back the hair on his head. Marv was totally overlooking the Saint as he made his predictions of how the fight would go.
I'm going to come out, I'm going to meet you, centre of the ring, first round, and I'm going to win the jab exchanges, and I'm going to hit you with 2 right hands. Just 2, just to let you know, whenever I want, I can hit you with a right hand.
The Sticky Bandit saw no threat and remained one smug.
Oi!
However, the prediction that Groves made was to become a harsh reality.
This Froch, he's struggling with the range of George Groves, timing perfect.
After finding his legs, the Cobra found himself back in the fight till the controversial stoppage by Howard Foster in the 9th round. The public were outraged. Every single person in the arena thought it was stopped way too soon.
Yeah, I thought it was a fair enough stoppage.
Alright, not everybody. Marv thought it was fair. But the rematch was called for. Wembley Stadium. The Warriors were at each other's throats for the second time. The pair's unforgettable handshake in the gloves are off. No wonder George got pulled about, he just couldn't let go of Marv's sticky hand.
We're the Sticky Bandits.
The rematch was a conclusive end to the rivalry that captured the world. The talking and the fighting was done, but the memories live on. The fight that had an enormous impact on British boxing and a fucking enormous impact on the pockets of apple and pears. Bosh.
Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora.
If you want chaos on your screens, there's only one man to turn to. Derek Chisora. A boxer who's lost more fights than I've had shits in my lifetime. A man who's still on pay-per-view because he scares the bollocks off of every promoter he works with. How do you magnify that chaos to create the most violent recipe for a rivalry in British history? You sprinkle on a little bit of body snatcher. The press conference that will be talked about forevermore. Two Spartans threatening each other's life.
He threatened my life?
Mark Tibbs, however, manages to keep things very respectable and dignified.
Fucking lynch. You're gonna get fucking seen to, I promise you.
And then...
You tell me right now, because listen, I am the baddest man.
The fan felt the full force of the shit. Just when things looked like they were cooling down, it was time for the gloves are off. Johnny Nelson thought it was a good idea to sit these two nutty bastards 2 feet a fucking way from each other. In the words of the great Ronnie Pickering, there's no need for that.
There's no need for that.
So you want me to put it on you? I'll put it on you.
The build-up of epic proportions could only ever lead to an epic fight. The meatheads left their bollocks in the ring and even had time for a vinegar stroke. Fight fans were left screaming for the rematch, which sent Derek into good fucking Knightsville.
Yeah. Oh, and that's good night. It is all over in the 11th round. Dillian Whyte knocks Derek Chisora out.
The war was over, but the rivalry was printed in our minds like a beard printed on Conor Benn's face. Unforgettable stuff and an unforgettable rivalry. This is Propa over and out. Like and subscribe and follow the link in the description to buy yourself some naughty merchandise. Ciao Bella from this proper fella.